Okay, this video is for follow up on my visit to the Lancaster, Ohio farmers market. And growing up, like I had parents and elders who knew about country living because they grew up with some country living themselves. It's just that I never had things like food cooked in lard, or I never had real butter. I always had margarine because margarine was what was new and what was modern, and it was touted as the latest health trend. When in actuality, the real butters turned out to probably be the healthier option in moderation, anyway. But anyway, back to the point. My mom always pushed a very, very modern, progressive kind of upbringing, which was good, very good in some ways. It was all about the science, the technology, the mathematics, the health trends, and I'm really grateful for that. But also I'm really grateful at having a chance to actually set foot in a farmer's market myself. Because like she would go to farmers market sometimes, but she would never take us there because she wanted us to focus on being modern. And after I got married, I was married to an African guy for like 5 years. So after I got married, my husband, he actually introduced me to the more traditional things that my mom and my elders used to have, like fresh meat and farmers market products. And my ex-husband, I already knew how to shop, but he just gave me an opportunity to get acclimated to including local markets and supporting local businesses. And what I learned from my ex-husband is that when you go farmers market shopping, you can actually use EBT there. So what I normally will do is I might get like a 20-pound bag of Asian rice, because Asian rice normally has a lot less arsenic than American rice because it normally has less pesticide. So I might get like a 20-pound bag of Asian rice and a 5-pound bag of potatoes or carrots from the grocery store. But then, like, every now and then, if I want a quality product, like, I'll use like the leftover EBT for quality low products from local businesses, like the fresher eggs with the better vitamins in it. So if I want to have one night where I'm not eating meat, okay, I can reach for some farmer's market egg and have a bowl of fried rice, egg fried rice, or another egg based meal, or, I want to make some, or maybe I want some tacos with some fresher produce in it, like boom, like 2 or 3 leaves. Now, three is overkill, just one or two cabbage leaves. That's enough. That's enough greens for at least 4 tacos with thinly sliced leaves in it. So, like 1 or 2 leaves, that's 4 tacos. 3 or 4 leaves, that's like 8 tacos. But of course, I'm not going to eat 8 by myself. So, like, for mixing and matching, it's really good to get cheap stuff for like soup or stir fry from the local grocery store. And then, like, if you want like the better quality items and you want to support local business, then there's the farmers market. Now, I want to point something out here. This is the locally grown organic celery, right? The smell of this stuff is just fantastic. It's excellent. It's got a very pungent, very strong aroma to it. The stems. I mean, in my personal opinion, the stems are darker and have a much more robust green than the celery you find in the grocery store. You get much bigger, healthier leaves, and I'm sure it probably tastes a lot better than the grocery store celery too. This is some phenomenal celery, and even though this is superior to grocery store celery, when you put something like this in a stir fry with a pot of rice, I swear to God, even if the only seasoning you have money for is just some salt, even if that's the only seasoning you got is just salt, You put some celery, some onion, and some just some celery, onion, and some basic vegetables cooked on low temperature added to some rice, and you've got a whole buffet of seasoning and flavors there, you know? And so it's really good to do the one meal a day or two meal a day diet as an adult, when you can get pains really easily from overworking. Having the one meal a day or two meals a day, that makes it easier to get better quality stuff from local markets when you have soups, stir fries, cheaper meals, and then you can afford to kind of use the money that you save to get better things. And then, like here, this is a Gouda cheese, also locally grown. These are all products made in Ohio. This is made from raw milk. It's unboiled, unpasteurized, fully raw, has all the healthy microbes in there. No chemicals, no hormones, all homegrown, all from Ohio. The rosemary, locally grown. This stuff smells fantastic. It's locally grown, it's organic, it's from Ohio, and this is also going to make me an absolutely fantastic hairspray. Because rosemary is like one of the best things you can use to kind of slow the process of your hair turning gray. And I have a lot of white hairs, a lot, and I'm trying to curtail that, or at least slow the process down a little bit. And rosemary is one of the really many plants that's good for growth, but also good for slowing down the process of your hair turning white, which I need that because I just naturally have really thick hair anyway, but might help when I combine with other stuff. It might help to slow down the graying. And I've always wanted to try apple butter. Like back home in Virginia Beach, Virginia, they used to advertise apple butter production on the local news when I was a little kid. And the memory just really stuck with me. I used to look at the news reports of people making these huge, massive vats of apple butters, and I used to be so fascinated. And I used to think, wow, I used to just think it probably tastes like apple pie in a jar. So I'm really looking forward to getting a taste of the real thing that's not from a grocery store. And again, this is some yogurt from the locals farmers market, but from the refrigerator section. And this is all, again, local products, homegrown. And yeah, this is all purchased with EBT. And also with EBT, you can purchase live plants. You can purchase seeds, not just at the local farm, because the local farmers market accepts EBT. And also at the local grocery stores, you can use EBT to get live plants and seeds too. But let's say, for instance, you want to have get a head start on your garden for the season without having to struggle with seedlings dying off, right? Okay, well, if you want to practice and try your hand at growing halfway decent food that's not going to just drop dead quickly, or if you want to learn from real life how difficult it can be to get a decent harvest, like stuff like this, you can actually stick it in the ground after you eat it. Like you can eat the whole thing. You can eat the whole thing, stick it in some dirt, water it, and then you've got a new plant. And growing plants indoors, it takes up a lot of time, it takes up a lot of space, but like just for the practice of seeing how challenging it can be to keep a plant alive, it can be really good practice to eat a vegetable and then just replant the root with the small part of the upper part on it, and then you've got a new little plant to learn about and to get to know and to experiment with that you really cannot keep with you into the next season because, if you live in a small home, you don't really have space to do that. But the good thing about the farmers market is that even if you're growing your own food, you know, you only have a limited space. So the farmers market is a good way to have more variety in your diet if you're growing your own food, and it's a good way to have better quality foods even if you're using EBT. So let's say you're growing some of your own food, right? Okay, well you're going to be have better health for yourself and your family if your added variety is coming from a local store. And they've got all kinds of really great stuff there. Stuff that you wouldn't even think a farmer's market would have, like jars of French herbs, um, jars of Creole seasoning, jars of Japanese seasoning, like just a huge, like non-chemical bug sprays that actually work. Okay, I mean, like the sky is the limit. They have like locals farmers market. It's basically like Walmart except with better quality stuff in there. And you can, and if you want cheaper stuff, it's there. If you want upscale, really fancy stuff, they have that too. And I think more people should know that farmers markets do accept EBT. So it's good to try to grow your own food, but even better if you can get that added variety from a better quality, locally grown set of sources.